Question is, what does a typical day look like for you in PR? Okay, so my day looks radically different now than it used to. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of both, because if you are someone that's in PR, your day is going to look probably much different than mine because I don't run an agency anymore. So now with my PR training business that I have, my days are pretty relaxed and I definitely built it that way on purpose. So I run classes online, which I create ahead of time, and I either deliver them in videos, so kind of like webinars that I record, or I deliver them in what I call playbooks, which are essentially like big workbooks with lots of really fun lessons in them. So I create all of that stuff ahead of time, and then when the class is actually running live, everyone's working on their lessons in the background, and then I'm basically just chiming in here and there into the class and answering questions, and then we do one live call a week for the duration of the class. So my days, nowadays have a lot more flexibility in them. I typically wake up and have a pretty leisurely morning. I try to get in my exercise, go to Pilates, whatever. I walk my dogs every morning. We have 3 of them, and have my breakfast and really have a nice relaxing morning before I cut into work. And so every day is different. Some days I have, private clients that I work with and by phone. Some days I head into the city. I live in Napa now. And so I head into San Francisco to just meet with people. And then some days I have auditions because I'm an actress. And some days I'm on set, like I'll be on set next week for a modeling job. And so every day is very different in my life. And then of course that there's days when I just do a lot of content creation where, I usually block those days off for the month. So it's usually 2 or 3 days where I sit down and I'll write blog posts. I'll write, outlines for upcoming classes. I'll write guest blog posts, things like that. And I try to block those off so that I get all of that done and I don't feel stressed to get that done last minute. Now, when I was in PR, when I had an agency, that was a much different scenario that I had at the time. It was really long days and, sometimes long nights. So that was essentially my 5-day-a-week job where I may get up at 7 and start answering emails, and then all day pretty much pitching the media on behalf of my clients, depending on how big my client load was. And then usually, working with the media is something that could go quite late because I used to live on the East Coast, so a lot of press is on the West Coast. So I would kind of hang around in the office until they were wrapped up for day, which could be 8 o'clock or later. And then the weekends I would end up doing work because I was doing it for my own business. So it was a really busy time then. However, I know that I couldn't be where I am today without putting in that time, because without 7 solid years of pitching media and taking on a variety of clients and putting in the grunt work, I would never be able to have a consulting/training business that I have today, because I can't teach other people what to do unless I've done it myself, right? Unless you've kind of walked in those shoes. So that was really important for me to put in that work every day and really learn the ropes and really get to know, how things work and how things work for different industries and different types of media. It's a huge mass market out there. So that was a really important place for my life to be at the time. And now I've just shifted into something that kind of works for me a little better with schedule and flexibility.